What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another break on this Sunday afternoon. And I've got 2024-25 Topps Chrome UEFA Club Competitions Hobby 12-box full case number 1. Pick your teams. I'm going to go ahead and get this shared over to the group, get everybody tagged, and we will go ahead and get started. Pete, having a hard time tagging. If you go by something else on Facebook, let me know and we'll get that tag added for you. All right. Got everybody tagged there. Go ahead and crack open this case, get our 12 hobbies out. Got our empty case back there. All right, there we go. Got our 12 boxes there. Let's go ahead and get started. Good luck, everybody. I'll bring those actually forward a little bit. Don't need them that far back. First poster there. Looking for one auto per box. Empty box there. I'm going to try my best. After this, we got our Don Lores clearly break if anybody's looking for that one. Right now, we got Emiliano Martinez there. 106 out of 199 for Aston Villa. And we got our first auto, going to be a David Fratesi there. 48 out of 99 on the green. That one going over to Inter Milan. Nice one there. Going over to Tim Mahoney, kicking off the break. There you go, Tim. First auto of the break coming your way. Congrats on that. Hey, Rick, how you doing today? Nice first Bowman, Shea Lacey there. Heck yeah, and Colorado is nice. Oh, heck yeah. Lucas Bergvall there on the Wonder Kids. All right, let me get this base moved over. Nice circle of power there. Oh, heck yeah, that's dope. And we've got a Ronaldo Araujo there for Barcelona, 39 out of 50. Nice one there. That one going over to Pete. There you go, Pete. Congrats on that one. Got a Matty Warhurst here, 113 out of 250. That one going over to Man City. All right, let me get this moved over. We'll hop into box number 2. Empty box there. Got a nice Darwin Nunez there for Liverpool, 81 out of 299. That's cool, Rick. We got another first Bowman, another Shea Lacey there for Man United. And we got a Kang In Lee here for Paris Saint-Germain. 23 out of 50. Nice one there. Now I'm going over to Joe. There you go, Joe. Congrats on that one. Get this base moved up. Got a Martin Odegaard here, 154 out of 225 for Arsenal. Really nice one there. Got a Joshua Zirkzee here, 29 out of 75 for Man United. And we've got an Emiliano Martinez auto there for Aston Villa, 38 out of 50. We are seeing a lot of gold today so far in this break. That one going over to Ben. There you go, Ben. Congrats on that one. Love to see it. Get this basement over. We'll hop into box number 3 here. Got a Justin Obamowodu there for Man City, 58 out of 199. Nice Ethan Nwarney rookie there. Pulled 2 of his autos in the jumbo case yesterday. Got a Quim Joyant there for Barcelona on the first Bowman. Got a nice Luis Diaz there for Liverpool, 122 out of 225. The base right behind that. And we've got our auto here, Santiago Jimenez for Feyenoord. Nice one there. Congrats on that. Get this base moved over. We got Alvaro Carreras there out of 225, 77 out of 225. That one going over to Benfica. Nice Endrick rookie there. We got a Mattia Liberali there, 270 out of 299 for AC Milan. And we got a Keenan Yildiz there for Juventus, 113 out of 150 on the Future Stars. Empty poster there. Empty box there. Got a Pau Victor there, 67 out of 225 for Barcelona. Got a nice Daniel Malin there on the Galazzo. 197 out of 199. That one going over to Borussia Dortmund. Got a nice Kevin Zeroli there, 254 out of 299. Going over to AC Milan. All right, let me get this basement over. We'll hop into the second half of this box. Got a Reagan Hensey there for Man City on the first Bowman. Nice Ethan Nwarney there on the Wonderkids. Got a Kenyon Yildiz there, 49 out of 250 once again for Juventus. And we've got a Harvey Elliott auto here, 61 out of 199 for Liverpool. Finish us off. That one going over to Tim. There you go, Tim. Empty box there. Got a nice Mark Giu there, 128 out of 225 for Chelsea. And we've got a redemption here for a veteran and rookie autograph variation. Gold parallel out of 50. Miles Lewis Skelly. Nice one there for Arsenal. Going over to Tim as well. There you go, Tim. Having yourself a break so far. Congrats on that. Yeah, of course, Tim. My pleasure. Nice Endrick there. And Ethan Nwarney. Two great rookies in one pack. Got a Quim Joynet for Barcelona on the first Bowman. All right, let me get this basement over. Hop into the second half of this box. Then into box number 6. Got a nice Miles Lewis Skelly for Arsenal there. 150 out of 299. There we go. We've got an Erling Haaland Munich at night. Going over to Man City. Going to go ahead and get that one magged up. Let me grab some bigger mags here real quick. Sorry about that. Thought I had those mags right next to me. Realized we had just used the last one. Absolutely stunning looking card there. Going over to Pete. There you go, Pete. Congrats on that. Very excited to see one of these. Hoping we would pull one. There we go. Congrats on that. Erling Haaland, Munich at night. And we got a Kobe Mainu here. 112 out of 175 for Man United. Get this basement over. Hop into box number 6. Poster there. Empty box. Got a Jaden Hensley first Bowman there for Man City. Nico Williams there, 5 out of 150. That one going over to Athletic Club. Nice one there. And we've got a Nuno Mendes, 49 out of 50. Going over to Paris Saint-Germain on the auto. Going over to Joe. There you go, Joe. Congrats on that one. We have yet another gold coming our way. We got a João Simonies there for Sporting, 52 out of 199. We got a Lucas Beraldo here for PSG, 99 out of 99. Nice bookend there. That one going over to Joe. There you go, Joe. We got a Pau Cabarsi there for Barcelona, 3 out of 125. This moved over here. Empty box there. Got a Tony Fernandez there for Barca, 103 out of 299. We got a Tony Fernandez there on the radiating rookie. Nice one there for Barcelona. Go ahead and get that one magged up as well. Got a Theo Hernandez here for AC Milan, 67 out of 175. All right, last pack of this half. Got a Reagan Hensey there for Man City on the first Bowman. Got a Hun-Min Sok there for Tottenham Hotspur out of 225, 206 out of 225 to be exact. And we've got a Paul Gasconi auto there, 26 out of 75 for Rangers. Nice auto there. All right, let me get this base moved over. Empty box there. Got a nice Quim Joyant there. Another first Bowman for him. Got a Thomas Mueller there for Bayern, 43 out of 250. And we've got an Alejandro Gamaldo auto there for Bayer 4. Nice one there. That one going over to Ben. There you go, Ben. Get this base moved over here. Also going to get some of this top-loaded base moved over so we keep the section clean. Got an Erling Haaland there, 169 out of 175 for Man City. Nice one to go with Munich at night. Two Endrick rookies in the same pack. Got a Daniel Yanez there, 42 out of 75. Now I'm going over to Real Madrid.
Hi.
Hello.
Need some company?
Sure.
How's it going so far?
Good. We've got a Erling Haaland Munich at night, Tony Fernandez radiating rookie, and a ton of out of 50s.
Oh, that Holland is sweet.
Yeah, it's a really gorgeous card. I was really
That
excited to pull one of
This
those.
is cool.
All right, let me get this basement over. We'll hop into the next box.
He looks like a Greek statue in that
Yeah.
photo.
That's what I love about soccer cards. They have some of the most like menacing photos that still look cool.
Soccer's rough, man. I was at the Rapids game last night.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that was a great game.
Did they win?
Yeah. Do you know anything about the Rapids?
Not as much about the Rapids. I've been to a couple Switchbacks games, which I know is like a level under.
Their star is Georgi Mihalovic. And he just makes like the most crazy, amazing goals. I don't know if you saw that highlight when it was the free kick. He faked everyone out and just kicked it on the ground when they all jumped and scored.
That's cool.
It's an awesome highlight. Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Empty box there. All right, looking for another auto. Hoping for a big rookie auto. We had a couple come out of our jumbo case yesterday. Nice Endrick there.
We were watching this morning.
Yeah,
Barcelona's playing, I think, Sevilla and Real Madrid won.
That's cool. That's the interesting thing too about with our time zones is it's early or late rather than at the same time as other sports. I saw the Nuggets just lost today, which is unfortunate. Another first Bowman there for Barcelona.
Well, Aaron Gordon was our only chance, and he's hurt.
Yeah.
I think he played anyway, though.
Yeah.
Mbappe scored this morning. He had a good goal.
Oh, sweet. We pulled Mbappe out of 10 yesterday.
Oh, nice. He's the highest ranked player in FC 25.
That's crazy.
He's so good. I still destroy my son, though.
I used to play that back in the day and intentionally try to get as many yellow cards as possible. Nice Endrick there.
I had to forfeit a game once because I didn't have enough players. That game's great. I mean, it's almost if you just are walking by the TV, you can't tell if it's a real game or FC25.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Still looking for our auto out of this box here. Got another Theo Hernandez there. That one going to be 6 out of 75 for AC Milan. Love that purple hue there. Almost a burgundy.
Just posted that Star Wars Chrome break, and we're already 7 spots.
Oh, heck yeah.
Sold, yeah. You may get that one tonight, too.
Sweet. All right, let me get this basement over, hop into the second half of this box here.
You saw I have 2 cases of that Mayo coming.
Yeah, what
Have
is
you
that?
seen
I haven't
that?
heard of that stuff.
It is awesome. It is so cool.
I meant to look it up this morning with
it's
the
like
nose.
the Japanese style.
Oh, okay, sick.
With the cards are all on like a beige background. I mean, it
Oh,
just
that's
looks so
sweet.
good. Yeah.
Got a nice Ollie Watkins there for Aston Villa, 93 out of 250.
It might be my favorite Star Wars product yet. The masterwork is pretty hot, though.
Yeah. I love cards like that, though, that take artistic designs. We had one, I can't remember the name of it now, that was celebrating the 25th anniversary of Phantom Menace. And it was not, there was not very many hits, but all the cards were art cards. Got Reece James here, 156 out of 199 on the auto for Chelsea. Nice one there.
Yeah. Something about these, the way they look, is just like, it's my style of card.
Yeah.
You know?
That one going over to Steve Miller. There you go, Steve. Got an auto coming your way, my friend. Congrats on that.
Like very clean. I like the matte look, you know, versus the glossy. Yeah. I mean, they're just awesome. So hopefully people get a kick out of this.
I wish they would do more non-sport cards like that for different properties.
I can't wait to see what Topps is doing with Disney. And
Yeah, of course, Steve. Yeah, those are all gonna be killer.
They're doing Dune too. I guess Dune is supposed to come out.
That's cool.
That should be
SpongeBob
interesting.
Topps Chrome too, right?
Yeah,
Which I think will be very hot.
that will be, I would say, as hot, if not hotter, than Be Friends.
Yeah.
Which Be Friends like flew off the shelf. I
Yeah.
can't believe that.
I just think like Star Wars has, or not Star Wars, SpongeBob has such like a cult following, not only from like my generation who grew up with it, but like younger people who have just seen it through like the internet memes.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot of humor that you have to, you know.
Yeah.
I think they sneak that stuff in there for parents.
Yeah. We got a nice Ken Ezekor there, 52
Whoa.
out of 225. That one going over to Bayer 4.
What is that? That's a just a parallel, or
Yeah, just a parallel. But a really nice one. We have a couple of them. I love the look.
it's like a. What would you even describe that as?
It's almost
mirror?
like a negative image, but not because it's green. All right, last pack. We hop into our next box. After this, if you guys are on here waiting, because I know sometimes people come in here looking for the next break, we do have Donruss clearly. Those 4 boxes are right behind me, so it shouldn't take too long. to
That
set
might
up.
be my favorite Donruss product.
Donruss
so far.
clearly. I love acetate cards in general, so I think it's my favorite just by default there. Because
See, I appreciate all the fancy cards, but I really just like the clean 90s style, you know,
Like
focus
basic.
on the player.
Yeah.
Yes.
poster there. It's interesting that soccer or football is the only sport where they have those posters in all of their
Is that you need to order one? Is that what it is? Or
empty box there. No, it's just like an advertisement for other products. But like all Topps soccer products have it. But they don't do that with any like baseball or anything. I'm sure it's, I'll have to look closer at the poster. I'm sure it's just different audience. I saw a TikTok today of my favorite darts player opening a box of these. He pulled an out of 10 auto.
Oh, you're a darts guy?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
a big fan of Stephen Bunting, the Bullet.
I have my dartboard, my really nice cabinet that's at my other warehouse that I'm going to bring down.
Sweet.
So I'll set it up if you're into it.
Yeah.
But I've got probably 6 or 7 sets of really nice darts.
My dad and I have been practicing his garage, and he got me a couple years ago a cabinet for my birthday.
Oh, there you go.
But I haven't set it up yet because I don't have like a consistent place where I'm not gonna accidentally put holes in the walls.
Yeah, I grew up playing darts. We always had a dartboard at the house.
It's crazy because the current world champion for darts is 17 years old.
Yeah. They say that the age of 12 for men is when your reflexes are at their absolute peak.
Really?
And then it goes downhill from there. But
Dang.
like your hand-eye coordination,
Yeah.
like that, you're at your absolute peak.
Nice.
The age of 12.
Leonard Carl there for Bayern on the first Bowman.
I don't know if I buy that or not. It does make sense why younger people do better at that kind of stuff. Though.
Yeah.
Damn, he's like a savant, huh? If he's 17.
Yeah. Well, and he doesn't. I mean, he looks young. He doesn't look 17, but he just goes out there and destroys. Nice Ethan Nwarny there. His name's Luke Littler.
Like, I've been playing this game for 30 years, you little.
That's the funny thing with darts players too is they either look like most of the time they look way older. Like I think Stephen Bunting, my favorite darts player, is maybe in his early 40s, and he definitely looks like he's in his 60s.
Dude, it's a hard life, man, being at the bar all day.
Marlon Gomez there, 40 out of 250.
You know, that's where the circuit is. Dart hustlers, man, it's a hard life.
That one going over to Shakhtar. Going to be in the all other team spot.
A lot of cocaine and darts. That's how you get good. You
Lots
play
of
for
fish
3
and
days
chips.
at a time.
We got an Alejandro Grimaldo, another auto there for Bayer 4. Nice one there. That one going over to Ben again. There you go, Ben. Another auto coming your way. Congrats on that.
We'll have to pick out a good spot. Probably in the warehouse somewhere.
Yeah. And we've got a George Ilicania there, 28 out of 175. That one going over to AS Monaco. Yeah, the jumbo case of this. I'm trying, Ben. I'm trying. The jumbo case of this was crazy. We got an out of 5 auto, an out of 10 auto, the Kylian Mbappe out of 10, and 2 massive rookie autos. And we got a Warren Zaire Emery here. Nice one there. On the white noise. Going to go ahead and get that one bagged up. We are getting some really nice inserts here. Anthony and I was talking about, we're surprised they haven't tried to bring back the music trading cards. I feel like that would be quite popular.
Well, they have some in like Allen and Ginter, right?
Yeah.
And then didn't you pull a bunch of crazy stuff out of that Leaf Pop Century?
Yeah.
I haven't even seen that. What is that?
So Leaf Pop Century is 4 hits. It changes every year. The box I got was 3 autos and 1 memorabilia or concert ticket. Or like backstage pass or something. And they've done that mostly in the past. This new year, and that one, by the way, going over to a PSG. Really nice card there. Going over to Joe. Congrats on that one, Joe. Love those white noise. I believe this year changed it to where it is 4 guaranteed autos, and then you also get a separate pack with 2 1-of-1 printing proofs.
Whoa. That must be a limited run then, huh?
It's not super limited. It's just
Who did you pull?
I pulled Chevy Chase, Anthony Michael Hall, and Kathleen Turner.
That's so good.
Yeah, I was stoked.
Speaking of Kathleen Turner, you've seen like Romancing the Stone?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I didn't know. That is way before your time. That was one of my
That's one of my mom's favorites.
favorite movies growing up.
Most of the movies I watched growing up are like 80s and 90s films. I haven't seen. There's some important ones I haven't seen, but for the most part.
That's classic, man. That's so good.
I was really into the 80s teen movies, so anything
You saw
with John Hughes
and Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were staples. Weird Science.
Weird Science.
So good. He was just in Anthony Michael Hall was in Reacher. Did you watch that?
I didn't, but I knew he was in there. He was also in one of the newest Halloween films as well.
He was pretty good in Reacher. That's a good show.
Got a Julian Duranville there for Borussia Dortmund, 59 out of 99. Love that green. Feel like we were just talking in the Bowman break the other day. Topps does green very well. It's a nice lighter green, usually on the eyes. Yeah, I met Molly Ringwald. She did her first convention appearance ever was at Denver Fan Expo, probably almost a decade ago now. Now she does more cons, but it was really cool.
Yeah.
Met Anthony Michael Hall too, Denver a couple years ago. He was super nice.
Do you know who is on the docket at Fan Expo?
They have a big list, but it doesn't seem as big as a couple years ago. I know you're a big Star Wars guy, so they have John Boyega.
Oh, cool.
So that one's big. I think they have a couple people from the Star Wars television shows. They just announced almost every Superman ever. So they've got like I'm spacing on the names now, but
Christopher Reeves.
Well, yeah, except Christopher Reeves, but like most of the current, they've got both of the voice actors from the animated series. They've got Tyler Hoechlin, who is in the newest Superman. They've got Dean Payne, I believe. Trying to think of Brandon Routh. That's the name.
Oh, yeah, he did his one in.
Yeah,
he did a couple movies.
Superman.
Right?
He just did Superman Returns, I think.
Yeah, which was awesome.
He's my favorite Superman, which I know is, but that's because that's the one I grew up with.
Cavill though.
They don't have Cavill. That's the only one of the current popular list they don't have.
He ain't going to no cons.
No. Well, he does occasionally, but they're normally like, there used to be these cons. I haven't seen them in a while. There used to be these cons called Ace Cons. There's the poster there. Oh, yeah, so it's for Topps Total Football. If you want to take a look at it, you can see it. It's just for their app. But,
you might get him on the Superman cruise or something.
yeah. Well, so that's what Ace Con was, is it was pretty much Marvel and DC stars. But instead of having like 30 guests or 40 guests, empty box there, they had like 3. So it would be like huge names, but you'd only have like Tom Holland did one, or I can't remember his name now, but the actor who played Captain America, Chris Evans, 50 out of 75. Asan Kudrago there. Nice one. Really love that purple.
Very nice. What team is that?
That one is going over to, I have to flip it over. Sometimes the symbols are so tiny. That one going over to Leipzig. So all other teams.
Very nice. Sometimes that miscellaneous other spot
is the one to go.
Yeah, that is the banger.
Just because you get so much potential.
Yeah. I pulled a lot of crazy stuff. Like I pulled the Caitlin Clark out of another miscellaneous spot.
Oh, heck yeah.
All kinds of F1, that Oliver Bierman rookie card I have. That's where you get all the wrestling cards.
Yeah. That's what I buy all the all other legends spot, because then you get a ton of big names that, I mean, you might only get refractors or parallels, but I was so excited because I'd been getting into Panini 3-count breaks back in like 6 months ago, trying to chase, because it's the only place they ever made WWE downtowns. So I was trying to get Rowdy Piper, and the spots are normally selling for huge, and I got one for $30, and I didn't pull the downtown, but I pulled the Rowdy Piper 1 of 1 from the set, and it was a mixer with select, so I also pulled the gold ringside out of 10. That's probably the best luck I've ever had. Got a nice Mikey Moore there for Tottenham Hotspur, 15 out of 99.
Did you see my picture with Tiffany?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said you got a Rey Mysterio too, right?
I did, yeah. Interested?
Yeah. That's my all-time favorite.
Is it? All right, I'll bring it in so you can look at it.
We were worried because when we went to WrestleMania, we got meet and greets for him, and he got injured the night before. He actually ended up needing surgery, but he didn't miss his meet and greet. And then he came out with Gabriel Iglesias and did a panel, which was really cool, about the history of his mask making. He's an interesting one because his market doesn't dictate his legend status. I was just at the card show a week or so ago. I picked up a Rey Mysterio National Treasures out of 49 patch auto for like $10.
Now, is he a good guy or is he a heel?
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, he's had moments where he's been kind of heel-ish.
Generally, he walks on the light side.
Let me get this moved over here. I think just because he's so popular, and for the longest time, he was one of the only massive luchadors.
What was his thing in the beginning? Was he mysterious? Is that where his name comes from? Nobody knows who he really is.
So it's from. Oh, interesting. That pack only had 3 cards. His family also wrestled under that name. So originally, when he was in WCW, he wrestled as Rey Mysterio Jr. And then he changed it. But that's basically what that translates to, is the Mysterious King.
And you never see him without his luchador mask on? Is that the mystery?
He didn't back in the day, unfortunately. Yeah. You got a Grease and a Brammer here for Juventus, 96 out of 150. Unfortunately, Eric Bischoff, when he was running WCW, wanted to do a mask versus mask fight with Rey Mysterio and unmasked him because he lost. Man. And Rey Mysterio still talks about it to this day. He's like, I've gotten over it, but he was like, that was one of the most difficult things I've ever been through in my career, just because in their culture, it's so sacred to not reveal yourself, take your mask off. Jeez. But now he's not too, he'll always do public appearances in the mask. Got a Giovanni Caneda there for Sporting, 191 out of 250. But it's not as big of a deal. He says he doesn't mind if people come up to him in the airport without the mask, and it's not as huge of a thing.
Like Slipknot in the beginning, right? You could never know what they look like.
Yeah.
Eventually, they got revealed.
That's
messed up, dude. That wasn't planned as part of the script.
It was planned for him, but he didn't have a say against it. It's he was just told, this is gonna happen. You're gonna lose your mask. Which, I mean, when you're starting out, you don't have the push to. Just
gotta do what you're told, I guess.
Yeah. It's funny with Slipknot. I've been to a couple horror movie conventions, and Corey Taylor's been there, and he is the nicest guy and also the biggest goofball.
I've met him, and I have his autograph.
That's cool.
On a Slipknot shirt that I made. And my wife's a huge Slipknot fan.
That's cool.
He loves Slipknot.
It's funny, when I went to meet Ozzy, it was actually Corey Taylor's convention.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, me too, Ben. Me too. I mean, I wasn't alive, but watching it back, it sucks that they did that to Ray. But I mean, I think it ended up working out in his favor. He bought an old horror magazine called Famous Monsters. And so he runs it now. And he did a convention to debut it. But then he was touring and got sick or something and couldn't go to the con.
Yeah, that sucks.
But Ozzy was there, and that's what mattered to me.
The last Slipknot concert I went to was here in the Springs, actually, at the World Arena.
Oh, that's sick.
And they bring a whole Slipknot museum that they set up in a tent outside that you can go in and see some of their set pieces, their original masks.
That's really cool.
The baseball bat with the keg and all that stuff.
All right, let's hop into our last box here. Good luck, everybody. Here we go. I'm trying to think if I've ever been to a concert that was like that.
Have you been to a Slipknot concert?
I haven't.
Oh,
I almost went to a Corey Taylor concert when he came out here with his solo project, but
that was what's the name of that band?
CMFT.
Yeah, he's the lead singer for another band too, though, isn't he?
Yeah, Stone Sour.
That's right, Stone Sour.
Empty box there. When I worked at the World Arena, I used to work a lot of concerts like that, but never got to see them. Did get to see Slayer's last show. Theoretically, they didn't actually retire, so it doesn't really count. But
yeah, it's pretty. This is again probably before your time, but they used to have a minor league football team called the Thunder. and they played at the World Arena. And my buddy was like the DJ, and one of my other buddies was a promoter. We just had full run of the World Arena for these. They would do the craziest things. They'd have people come in and rappel off the roof.
That's cool.
From the roof, you know,
yeah,
and onto the field during, like, for the warm up and everything. They just went nuts. That was
fun. During COVID, I got hired, me and 3 other guys, to clean every chair in the World Arena. It took us 6 weeks, but we had a similar experience where, like, our boss was basically like, do whatever you want as long as you get your job done. So we could run around the World Arena. We got to explore all the, like, tunnels and passages, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah, I didn't get to go up on the catwalk. I wish. Got a Ben Brogio there for Aston Villa on the first Bowman. That was a fun job.
Was it just like a one-time thing to just disinfect the entire place?
Yeah, well, that part was when I actually, like, worked, because that was when I worked for the World Arena. I was an usher, so I would just pick which shows I wanted to work. So I would normally work all the Colorado College games, and then the concerts that I knew most of the staff wouldn't want to work, so like the heavy metal shows, the crazier stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. I got to see a lot of really cool comedians. Trevor Noah was one of the last shows. Actually, I think Trevor Noah was the last show I worked.
I bet that was good.
Yeah, and they put me on the floor, so I got to watch the whole show.
Oh, very nice. I'm sure that's pretty chill.
Nice. Ethan Nawarny. Then
Balloon.
Chiodo Obi there, 149 out of 150 for Man United. Really nice rookie there. Yeah, it was really, I mean, he just kind of stood there the whole time. Metal shows, not so much. Metal shows, I had to get a little bit more involved, but it was still fun.
I've seen a lot of good shows there. I've seen Korn there a few times.
That's cool.
I saw Steve Miller Band there. That was pretty awesome.
I saw them at Red Rocks with the Doobie Brothers when I was 12.
Very nice.
That was one of my first concerts. Looks like we got an orange coming up here. It's going to be a Victor Boniface, 7 out of 25 for Bayer 4. Go ahead and get that one magged up.
Nice.
That one going over to Ben. There you go, Ben. You always bring the luck, my friend. Say I'm going to bring heat, and we do.
You had a late night last night, huh?
Yeah.
You did like, what, 4 or 5 breaks?
Yep.
Nice work.
2. I did the dual case, then a full jumbo, then the Girls of Summer. And then this morning I did a break right when I came in.
We're down to our last case of Girls of Summer. Jump in.
I mean, everything is low numbered in there. I always think it's funny because I'll be doing those breaks and I'm like, oh, I recognize that name. I recognize that name. Like, there's a lot of people on there you don't like. Holly Madison, did not realize she was on the checklist. There's some WWE people on that checklist.
It's fire, man. I'm telling you. Limited edition.
There we go. All right, let me get this basement over. We'll hop into the last of our packs. After this, we will have Donruss clearly.
I feel like the non-sports obscure stuff, they go the extra mile.
Yeah.
To make it a little bit more special.
Got a nice Tijani Rajinders there, 124 out of 199. The one non-sports product I wish I would have gotten when it came out. I was way too young. But they made Breaking Bad trading cards
cool.
in hobbies. And it's funny because they have a huge collectible market. But neither Bryan Cranston or Aaron Paul signed for the product. Almost everybody else did. But a hobby box of that now will run you like $500, $600 sealed.
Get a case.
That would be crazy. I just wish they would bring back more. I know they've done Game of Thrones cards, but I wish they would bring back more things like that. I think it's a hole in the market that's missing.
Yeah. Well, let's see how Dune does. That'd be interesting. Because, you know, they're kind of... It's been delayed a few times, I think.
Yeah.
You could pull a 1-of-1 Timothy Chalamet.
Dune would be cool. SpongeBob. I think the Disney and the Marvel will be crazy. Yeah, Zendaya, and she doesn't. I don't think I've ever seen a private signing of hers. So you'd have to get her street graph. So that means that her value is going to be high. Got a nice Pau Cabarsi there. 80 out of 254. Barcelona.
Did you see Thunderbolts yet?
I haven't seen a Marvel movie in. Well, I haven't seen a Marvel movie period in a long time. But the last Marvel movie I saw in theaters was Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Yeah,
that's good.
And I went because I was a huge Sam Raimi fan.
Thunderbolts is good.
It's also the new Avengers, right? That's the like alternate title for it. Yeah. That's why there's the asterisk next to the name.
Yeah, they pulled that switcheroo at the end of in the post credits.
Yeah. Oh no, I saw Deadpool and Wolverine. I forget that. I never think about that one as like traditional superhero. All right, last pack here. Good luck, everybody.
Let's go.
We hop into our recap.
Ooh, Vinny Jr.
there. All right, let me get this base moved over, get a couple things situated. We will hop into our recap. All right, we got Mikey Moore for Tottenham. That one going to be out of 99. Asan there going over to Leipzig out of 75. Julian Duranville there for Borussia Dortmund out of 99. Alejandro Grimaldo there going over to Bayer for on the auto. We got Reece James there out of 199 on the auto going over to Chelsea. Got Theo Hernandez there for AC Milan out of 75. Daniel Yanez there out of 75 going over to Real Madrid. Got another Alejandro Grimaldo auto there going over to Bayer for Paul Gascone there out of 75 on the auto for Rangers. We got Lucas Beraldo there for PSG, 99 out of 99. Nuno Menendez there out of 50, 49 out of 50 going over to PSG on the auto. Got the redemption here going over to Arsenal of Miles Lewis-Skelly. That should also be out of 50 with the gold variation. Got a Harvey Elliott auto here for Liverpool. That one going to be out of 199. Santiago Jimenez there for Feyenoord on the auto there. Got Emiliano Martinez there out of 50 going over to Aston Villa on the auto. Kang-in Lee for PSG out of 50 going over to, I already said PSG, Ronaldo Araujo there out of 50 going over to Barcelona. And we finish off with David Fratesi out of 99 going over to Inter Milan on the auto. Then we have our mags here. Got the Erling Haaland Munich at night going over to Man City. Got Tony Fernandez on the radiating rookie going over to Barca. Got Warren Zaire-Emery there on the white noise. That one going over to PSG as well. And we finish off with the Victor Boniface 7 out of 25 auto going over to Bayer 4. All right, that's going to do it for this break. Thank you, everybody, for hopping on with me. Hope you have a wonderful afternoon/evening.